Hi friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Factory UPSC. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss the second chapter of NCERT class 7. Okay, actually I am skipping the first chapter because it is not very important, because it mainly discuss about the geography as a discipline and the main concepts regarding the geography, etc. So it's not very important regarding our exam point of view. Okay, so but this second chapter is very important because there are some important concepts regarding the geography, and it is also a stepping stone towards the geography. So kindly focus on these classes and it will be very useful for your NCERT exams as well as UPSC examinations. Okay, so here the first chapter, the second chapter, the name of the chapter is Origin and the Evolution of the Earth. Okay, and the name of chapter is Origin and the Evolution of the Earth. And in this chapter we are going to discuss the main concepts regarding origin of the earth, early theories about the origin of the earth, the modern theories about the origin of the earth, Big Bang theory, the star formation, the formation of the planets, then about our solar system, and we will also discuss about the moon and how the earth has evolved, how the development of lithosphere took place, how the development of atmosphere and the hydrosphere took place. Okay, and finally we will also discuss about the origin of life. Okay, so this chapter is very important, so students kindly focus here. Okay, so first of all we are going to discuss about the nebular hypothesis or about the early theories. Okay, so here we can find a large description, but it is not much as important because I will summarize it to you, and if you want this this large description you can pause our video and note down the points. Okay, so I can summarize this to you that in the early theories, the earlier and the popular arguments was taken by the German philosopher known as Immanuel Kant. Okay, that means the early theory was put forward by the geographer came to be known as Immanuel Kant. Okay, and mathematician Laplace revised it in 1796 and it is known as nebular hypothesis. Okay, so his theory, that means the theory of German philosopher Immanuel Kant, was replaced by the mathematician Laplace, and this theory came to be known as nebular hypothesis theory. Okay, I hope it is very clear to you. And this hypothesis considered that the planets were formed out of cloud of the material which includes sun also. Okay, that means the theory of whom the Immanuel Kant was replaced by whom, the mathematician known as Laplace. Okay, according to his theory, this that means the planets and including our sun is also included in the part of a cloud of materials and which were consecutive together to form a galaxy. Okay, that means all the planets including our sun are togetherly, that means they are combined together in a gaseous form of the state, or something we can say that they are included all in a cloud molecular. Okay, so it came to be known as the early theories, and the arguments considered by the companion to sun to have been coexisting. That means the sun is also there in our solar system, and it was pointed out by the binary theories. Okay, so the binary theory means the arguments considered of a companion to the sun to have been coexisting came to be known as binary theories. Okay, actually it is not very important, but just you can keep these concepts in your mind, so it will help in your examinations. Let's come to the main concept, that is modern theories. Okay, the modern theories are very much important because the Big Bang theory is a part of modern theory. Okay, so let's see about the modern theory. In the modern theory we can say is that the origin of universe. Okay, the first theory was that of the origin of universe theory. Okay, the Big Bang theory is also called known as this origin of universe theory or the universe hypothesis. Okay, So the Edwin Hubble in 1920 has provided the evidence that the universe is expanding and the galaxies move further as the time passes. That means, according to the Big Bang theory, we can say is that due to a high explosion, and that means high explosion on the outer space, the larger that means we can say that it's a first of all it is a ball-like structure, and it has first exploded, and that means these exploded particles are joined together, and they got separated actually. That means due to this explosion they got separated, and they roam around on the orbital manner, and they means due to their evolution process and their then we can say that their weathering process, they go transformed towards the planets as well as the sun. Okay, so it's a basic concept of our Big Bang theory, and it was put forward by Edwin Hubble. That means he has provided the evidence that the universe is expanding and the galaxies move that the further the time passes. Okay, for example, we can say when we take some pieces of paper and we can put it in the balloon which is not filled by gas. Okay, so take a balloon that is not filled by air and place that small paper particles, that means torn paper parts, on the above of this balloon, and when we blow it, we can find that it got its distance has been increasing. That means this smaller particles of paper got separated away. Okay, as the air increases, we can say we can watch that the distance between those paper particles has been also increasing. Okay, so when it came to the huge concept, that means when it came into a huge balloon, we can find that their distance is very big. Okay, like that we can say that our earth is, that means our galaxy is expanding, as well as our distance between planets as well as the sun is also expanding due to this process. Okay, I hope it is very clear to you. Then the laboratory expanding the balloon, that is what I have already explained to you, that we can say we can find here the picture of a balloon as well as some for this experiment we need a balloon, a marker, a masking tape, and we need a ruler also. And first of all, what I have mentioned that there we can take some particles of this paper and we can mark it as A, B or C, then place it over the balloon, and when we fill, just blow it little and just mark or measure the distance between those balloons. When the air increases in the balloon, we can find that the distance between these paper particles are also increasing. Okay, like this we can also find our galaxies also expanding, and as a result the distance between those planets are also increasing. Okay, I hope it is very clear to you. So let's find out the stages of Big Bang theory. Okay, it's a very important concept, and it mainly discusses about the stages regarding this Big Bang theory and how it affects our solar system. Okay, let's see. In the beginning, all matter was in the form of a tiny ball or the singular atom with unimaginable small volume of infinite temperature and infinite density. Okay, that is what I have already mentioned, that first of all they all are joined together to a single point, and we can say that a single ball or something like that, and there is a single atom, and due to this explosion this got separated out. Okay, and about 13.7 million of years ago, this tiny ball got exploded violently, and this expansion has been continued even today. Okay, that means before 13.7 billion of years ago they got exploded, and as a result of this explosion these particles got moved away, and now we can also find that this explosion and the distance between these particles are increasing even day by day. Okay, and as a result some energy was converted into matter. Okay, that means as a result of this expansion some energy is converted into matter. Okay, and within the friction of second, and there was also rapid expansion. That means within the explosion is always a huge process, that means which liberate a lot of energy, and due to this expansion we can also find that the large amount of energy is released, and the rapid expansion also occurs. Okay, and the expansion slow down after the 3 minutes and first atom is formed. Okay, so this explosion got slow down after the 3 minutes, and as a result of this that means this slow down after 3 minutes, and after 3 minutes we can find the first atom is formed. Okay, after 3 lakh years the temperature dropped down about 4500 Kelvin and give rise towards atomic matter. Okay, and that means this heat and high temperature got increasing day by day, but it got low down after about 3 lakh years ago, and the temperature has been rise. That means the temperature gives the rise to atomic matter. That means the temperature dropped down towards 4500 Kelvin, and as a result the atomic matter got developed. Okay, I hope it is also clear to you. And as a result the universe became transparent. Okay, this is what the Big Bang theory and their stages. So let's see about the small concept that is known as steady state theory. Okay, that means it's a counter statement towards the Big Bang theory, and it's not important because it's not described in your textbook, but I include in your include in this note because may sometimes it will help you. Okay, so kindly note what is steady state theory. Okay, the Big Bang theory in the standard model of cosmology. However, there have been several other models for the universe. One such model which gained the large following in 1950 and 1960s, because that means becoming the absolute in the early 70s, it is known as steady state model, because it we can conclude that it is that means it prevalent in our 50s, 60s and 70s time. Okay, and this model asserts that general character of the universe is not changing over time. That means it's hence in a steady state. Okay, that means the universe will not change, and it's a counter statement. That is what I have already said, that the Big Bang theory says that it is expanding day by day, but the steady theory says that it is not expanding but it is in a static manner. Okay, I hope it is also clear to you. So let's see about the density steady theory is not very important, and the next concept that is mentioned in your textbook is star formation, or how the stars are formed. Okay, so let's see how the stars are formed. The distribution of the matter and the energy was uneven in the universe. The density difference have rise towards differences in the gravitational force. Okay, the distribution of matter and the energy was uneven in the universe. That is what we all know, that the energy is not always equal, or it is not equally distributed, and it is uneven according to their properties. Okay, and the density of differences give rise towards the differences in the gravitational force. Okay, that means the density differences causes the differences in the gravitational forces, and it causes the matter to get drawn together. That means this gravitational force pull the matter towards unique. That means we can say that it will join. That means if it is two matter, the gravitational force attract it together. Okay, that is what is mentioned as it causes the matter to get drawn together. Okay, and this is the base of the formation of galaxies. That means we can if we can say these are two particles and it got separated on rounding the galaxies, and if the gravitational pull is very high, we can find that these particles got joined together, and as a result there are some components which were formed around the sun, and it can be togetherly known as galaxy. Okay, so it led towards the formation of the galaxies, and the galaxies contain the large number of stars. That we all know that the galaxy contain the large number of stars, and the distance between the star is measured with a light year. Okay, it is a very important topic, that what is light year. Okay, so the distance between star cannot be measured actually by human, but it is calculated using a method came to be known as light year. Okay, so let's see what is light year. 1 light year is equal to the distance covered by light in 1 year, and it travels at the speed of 3 lakh km per hour. Okay, so 1 light year, what is 1 light year? 1 light year is equal to the distance covered by the light in 1 year, and it can travel about at the speed of 3 lakh km per hour. Okay, so is it clear to you? I hope it is so. So let's see the next, that is the average diameter of the star. That means the average diameter means the average diameter. I hope it is known to you that what is diameter, what is radius, etc. And the average diameter of the star is about 80,000 kilometers to 1,50,000 light years. Okay, so what is the average radius of the average diameter of the star? It is about 80,000 kilometer to 1,50,000 light years. Okay, and it starts forming about by, that means we can see that it starts forming by the accumulation of hydrogen gas in the form of clouds. Okay, and the denser the gas they were condensed to form stars. Okay, that means how the stars are formed. It is a main that is a main heading, and the answer to that is the star is forming by the accumulation of hydrogen gas in the form of cloud. Okay, so the hydrogen gas, they are combined together to form a cloud like structure, and denser these gases, they were converted into stars. Okay, is that clear? That means hydrogen gas are combined together and they are converted. That means when the rise in density will leads to increasing its density and changing it to a star. Okay, and it takes about 5 to 6 billion of years for the star formation. Okay, so for a star formation it will take about 5 to 6 million of years ago. So let's see the distance of the light year. 1 light year is equal to 9.461 into 10 raised to 12 square kilometer. Okay, 12 kilometer. Okay, so what is the distance of 1 light year? 1 light year is about 9.46 into 10 raised to 12 kilometer. Okay, the mean distance from the sun to the earth is about 8.311 minutes. It is also important. That means for the light, that means the light from the sun to reach, that the time taken by the light from the sun to reach our earth is about 8.311 minutes. Okay, I hope it is also very clear to you. So let's move to the next concept, that is the formation of planets, stages in their development of the planet. Okay, so it is a simple topic that will be very easy for you. So let's see this topic. The stars are localized lumps of gases found in nebula. That is, we have already discussed that the stars are localized lump of gases that is formed in nebula. The gravitational force led to the formation of the core. Okay, that is also already discussed, that the gravitational force will combine these material, that means these particles on the solar system to join together, and they are formed towards that they are formed joined together to form the core. Okay, the huge rotating gas disk and the dust developed around the gas core. Okay, so the huge rotating gas disk and the dust developed around the gas core, and in the next stage we can find that these gas clouds getting condensed and the matter around the core developed into the smaller round objects. Okay, so the next stage is what? Then the gas clouds getting more condensed and the matters around this core is developing into the small round objects. Okay, and the small rounded objects are developed into the planetesimal. Okay, that means these smaller round objects are developed into planetecimals due to the process of cohesion. Okay, and the next point is the larger bodies formed due to this collision and attraction. That means that is what we have already discussed, that the gravitational force will also play a major role in developing the size and increasing their quantity, that means increasing their mass of each and every stars in detail. Okay, and at the final stages these smaller planetecimals accelerate to form the larger bodies in the form of planets. That means these small planetecimals leads to the formation due to this higher gravitational pull and the forces leads to the formation of the planets. Okay, it is also clear to you. And now let's see the main important concepts regarding the solar system, and we can find that there are several planets on our earth and solar system, and first of all there were 9 planets and now it is 8 planets only. We can find here is Sun, after that Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and finally that the outer planet is came to be known as Pluto, and it is not now, and it is expelled now. And so there are 8 planets in our solar system. So if you want to know about more about our solar system, you can refer to an application named as Space ZX, and the link of this application will be given in our description box, so you can refer to this application and find more about this planet in a great detail. I will give the link of this application in the description box given below. Download the application, and you can use this application in order to find out the main concepts regarding the solar system, and the main all the planets, all details of these planets are given in that application in the great detail. So it will be very useful for you students. So download that application and you can use it. Okay, so let's find more about the solar system. Our solar system consists of 8 planets. The nebula of our solar system started collapsing around 5 to 5.6 billion of years ago. Okay, that is what we have already discussed, that our solar system consists of 8 planets, and the nebula of our solar system has been collapsed by around 5 to 5.6 billion of years ago, and the planets were formed about 4.6 billion years ago. Okay, so the nebula of our solar system had been formed before the 5.6 billion year, and our planet of our solar system have been formed around 4.6 billion of years ago. Okay, our solar system consists of 8 planets, 63 moon, million of asteroid comets, huge quantity of the gases and dust. Okay, so what are the main components of our solar system? Our solar system mainly consisted of 8 planets, 63 moons, million of asteroids and the comets, and huge amount of gas and dust. Okay, there are 2 types of planets, namely as inner planets and outer planets. Okay, so let's see the major division of that planet. The difference we can find here, the difference between the inner planet and outer planet. Let's see which are the inner planets here, and we can find the picture of outer planet here. The Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars are called as inner planet. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto and other planets are called as outer planets. Okay, so the inner planets are found between the belt of asteroid and the sun. Okay, so what is the location of this inner planet? It is found between belt of asteroid and the sun. And as an opposite, we can find that the outer planets are outside the belt of these asteroids, and they are also called as terrestrial planets. That means the inner planets are also called as terrestrial planets, and the outer planets are also known as Jovian planets. Okay, and the main feature of this inner planet is they are very small in size, but the outer planets are very large in size. Okay, inner planets are very high in their density, and the outer planets are very low in their density. And the inner planets, that is a solid rocky state, but the outer planets are mainly of gaseous state. Okay, and that means the inner planets are always warm, and the outer planets we can find that they are clouds. Okay, so the inner planets that they are warm, and the outer planets they are mainly composed of the clouds. Okay, I hope it is also very clear to you. So let's see what is moon and how the earlier expansion of the moon took place. Okay, in 1838, George Darwin suggested that initially the earth and the moon formed a single rapid rotating body, and the whole mass became dumbbell shaped body, and eventually it broke out. That means we can say that earth and moon are like we can find that it is earth and it is moon, they are conjointly joined together, and they are their shape is mainly like a dumbbell. Okay, that means if it is earth and if it is moon, they are joined together, and they are look like a dumbbell, and eventually after years and years they broken out. Okay, that means this earth and this moon have broken out eventually. Okay, and it is a concept by Darwin, that means George Darwin in 1838, and the whole they are separated, and the earth formed from the moon. Okay, and they are placed after the Pacific Ocean. That means if it is Earth, and that is what I have said, that if it is Earth and if it is Moon, and when the part in which this Earth and Moon got separated, that means this part is of Pacific Ocean. That means a major part of this the Earth is drilled out by the Moon, and in that part the water got collected out and it formed the Pacific Ocean. Okay, this is what the concept of Sir George Darwin, he put forward this concept in 1838. Okay, I hope it is also clear to you. And but this theory is not accepted literally now. Okay, and the present theory is the giant impact theory or the big splat theory. Okay, so what is the present theory of the formation of the Moon? It is mainly about giant impact theory or the big splat theory. Okay, the large size of the body of the Mars collide with the Earth and the portion, and it was separated from the Earth, and at the same point it become the Moon, which revolves around the Earth, and the Moon formed about 4.4 billion of years ago. That means we can find that here is a picture, isn't it? Okay, that is what is mentioned above. I will tell you in great detail. And if the yellow portion is our Earth, and this red portion is in another part, that means another celestial part outside our Earth, and when this large celestial part get struck towards our Earth, and some portion of our Earth got separated out, and they got separated out from the Earth, and during the millions of years and years later they got converted together as old form, and these collided particles started revolving around the Earth, and the major among them one is a small ball like structure. It is came to be known as Moon. Okay, so we can find that the Moon is evolved from the Earth due to the highest collision from an outside celestial body. Okay, I hope it is also clear to you. Guys, don't make any doubts in your mind. If you have doubts, you can comment below. I will definitely clear that doubt on the next session. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can comment below. So if you have any doubts, I will definitely clear it in the next session also. Okay, so there are some more concepts in this chapter. We can conclude it now. And next one is the evolution of the Earth. We can find how the Earth has evolved. The Earth was initially barren rock and a hot object. Okay, so the Earth was initially the barren rock and a hot object. Hydrogen and the helium are present in our Earth during that time, and the Earth was also layered structure that we all know, and the lighter layer is formed at the outer surface, and the denser layer is formed at inner surface. That is why the iron is found in the innermost surface, and the lightermost components are found in the outside of our Earth. Okay, so it is what the density and their dissolution help in creating the layers in the Earth. Okay, that's how the Earth has evolved, and we can find we can also see how the evolution of the lithosphere took place. Okay, there was volatile state during the predominant state. That means the Earth is in the volatile state during the primordial state, and due to the higher density, the temperature increases, and the mineral, that means the material, started separate according to the density. Light material come out and heavy material went inside, and it cooled and condenses together to form the clouds and lithosphere. And at the time of formation, the Moon and the Earth again became hot, and due to the differentiation, and these layers are formed. That means the Earth was cool at that time, and due to the collision of the Moon on the Earth, it get heated, and heated, and as a result these layers are again formed. Okay, this picture shows how the layers of the Earth are distributed. That means we can find there is crust, mantle, and a core, like we can find the picture. That means like when we cut an apple, like that our Earth is also, we can find the layers inside that, and likewise our Earth is formed, and that's what are the concept which is included in this in our classes. So don't forget to download that application named as SpaceZ and it will help you in your study about the solar system. I hope this class is very clear to you. If you find this class useful, don't forget to like our video, share to your friends, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.